So one of the coaches I'm working with got a 13.2 ROAS in the month of November, 2025. All right, so we're watching, like current time I'm filming this in December, by the way. So 13.2 ROAS, like what that means is for every $1 in ad spend, she's making, $13.20 back. So obviously, like do the math at, what levels of scaled ad spend, you can get, quite significant profit there. I will say this, of course, this is not typical results. Like this is not standard. Not all of our private clients obviously don't get 13 to 1 ROAS. That's very incredible. Much more standard is going to be in the range of like 3 to 5 ROAS. So making $1, putting $1 in, making $3 to $5 back. That's a lot more reasonable. So don't expect this, but I want to break down this video basically what is working so well with her funnel, why it's working so well. There's one big thing I'm going to cover this video that really differentiates her ads and her funnels. So I'm going to break that down exactly. It all comes down to really one thing. It's called the unique mechanism. All right. So for her, I don't want to reveal like her exactly funnel stuff because I don't want you guys to like funnel hack her. I'm just out of respect for her and her results and everything. But unique mechanism. All right. So she's in a very saturated niche. Like there's millions of competitors, to be honest, like so many competitors, it's absurd. And so many promises being made. All right. Where, customers in this niche, they've seen millions of ads, so many promises and claims and stuff. They've tried things before. They tried solutions and bought things, and they've failed basically, or they've failed over and over and over again. So this niche is very burnt out. And so if you're someone who's watching this, you're in a saturated niche, like this one thing's going to help you tremendously, whether you're running paid ads or even organic marketing as well. Like this is crucial. To help you increase the sales and believability of all of your claims or promises, and help just more people actually come on board with you. So unique mechanism, what is this? So when I say mechanism, think of like your secret sauce, your vehicle to getting your customers results. Like how to get them from where they're at point A to point B. What is your vehicle? Like what actually like takes them there? All right, so you probably do multiple things. You probably help them out in multiple areas, like different problems you solve and stuff. But the mechanism is the perceived like big vehicle, or the perceived big vehicle. So for example, like let's say for my private clients, we do a number of things. We can help refine their offer, help them launch ads, help them with their sales process, pre-call priming videos. There's a ton of stuff we can help them with and consult them with, but we don't do that. Like for example, if someone's working with us on paid ads, like one of the mechanisms that we talk about is going to be like our mini VSL funnel. That's the mechanism to get that person results, for example. It's a funnel that we run. All right, and so when you have a mechanism that's like one big perceived thing, it maps it out to them in a much more concrete way. Because if they're at point A right now, they want to get to point B. There's no map, there's no vehicle to get them there. Like it's very unclear, and so it's hard to buy something if there's no clear mechanism. All right, and so a unique mechanism is, let's use a fitness example. Let's say someone's trying to lose weight. They've tried keto before, they've tried P90X, they've tried different programs and plans before. And those are different mechanisms they've tried and they failed with it for some reason. And so unique mechanism, why it's important is because it basically brings new hope. Because when you've tried something multiple times in the past, if someone's offering the same solution, oftentimes like there's gonna be disbelief. There's gonna be a lack of confidence in that because you think you've tried it before, even if you've just done it completely wrong, which is the case for many people. Many of your customers, you might be thinking, well, they obviously just did it wrong. Like they were doing this wrong. They weren't accountable. They weren't consistent, whatever it is, which is completely true and valid. But the consumer's mind, like you try and like just like your ego and how psychology works, you're going to try to avoid fault when possible. And so most people who don't have like that super accountability, self-accountable mindset, they're going to try to push the fault off of themselves. And so oftentimes the mechanism is really important for this, where something unique, something different than they tried before brings hope. If it's the same thing, instantly all those associations of failure come with them. And so they're very unlikely to join you unless you have some other crazy proof or authority or something else going for you that's really going to compel them to join your thing. And so unique mechanism. That's something that she's doing incredibly well right now. She actually has a unique mechanism. Like I've never heard of this way before to get results personally. And I'm quite involved in this target market. And so I've never heard of this thing. And so of course, like the consumers in this market, they've never heard of it either. And so when they see her ads, for example, talking about this new different method, they've never heard of this thing before. The desires are the same, the pain points are the same, but the method is different. And so instantly this is contrast. It just gets more attention in it being different in the first place. So they see this ad, they're like, I've never heard of this before. I'm curious. I just spit out my mouth right there. But I'm curious. And this is literally what happens. And so just with the curiosity, they don't even have to be like have a high level of interest yet. They're just curious. They'll click on the ad. They'll take the next step. All right. And they're likely to follow through with the next step because they're just simply curious. And if we do the pre-call priming process right, we build their curiosity, we turn it into interest. All right, through pre-call priming material. So this is like case studies and a video, kind of like a VSL, basically breaking down your process a little bit more, your background, some more proof, more credentials to help build belief in the process. But that's huge because like the first clicks make all the difference. They really do. If your ad is the same thing as everyone else, why would they pay attention to you? They've already seen the same promises, the same claims by everyone. Like, why are you different? Like, that's literally what they think. Like, I've seen this before. Like, unless there's something that stands out, there's something that's different, why would it catch attention? Especially in a saturated market. All right, so especially for those of you in a saturated market, you need a unique mechanism. Now, if you're watching this, you're thinking, well, I don't have a unique mechanism. Like, I just do the basic thing. Like again, fitness example. You're someone who's like, well, I mean, there's no secret sauce. It's just like you eat less, you move more, you eat some protein, you eat less calories. Like, it's very simple. I mean, that is true, but you want to find, hey, what's something that you're doing that's just not being advertised, it's not being talked about. All right, so it could be, for example, like my previous fitness company, like we ran a few different unique mechanisms. We still have one that's working really well. But for example, it could be like the 80-20 diet, which is, you've heard of probably flexible dieting. That's a unique mechanism out there. These things aren't very common. Most people don't even have mechanisms in the first place. It's just very basic. Like I'm a coach and I'm going to help you lose weight. It's not very compelling. So if you have a mechanism like 80-20 diet, for example, even that in itself, you might be thinking of this and thinking like, what does that mean exactly? I've never heard of that. So it can be as simple as that. And then you break in, 80% of the time you eat healthy foods, 20% of the time you eat whatever you want. All right, that's an example. But it doesn't have to be anything crazy. You just have to state something that most people aren't stating in their marketing. That's all it takes. I know there was, I don't remember the exact thing, but for a cigarette or cigar brand, they talked about how they rolled like the whatever. I honestly don't know much about cigars, but how they rolled it. And it was just like, it was a standard process that every other company used. But this one company, they just stated it. We do a double roll. I'm making this up. I have no knowledge of how this stuff works. But they just stated the process they did. Even though every single other company did this exact same thing, but they just called it out. Hey, we do this rolling process. And just in that, it's going to get more attention because they're like, consumers like, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. That's interesting. I never heard of that before. It's a unique mechanism. All right, and that's all it is really just something different, something unique that creates contrast. Or if you're walking down a beach and everyone's obviously in swimsuits and there's one dude walking around in a suit, that's contrast. All right, it doesn't it's just contrast, and so instantly catches your attention. Instantly, you're kind of curious, like, what is this guy doing in a suit? Like, what does this guy have going on? Like, what is he doing? Contrast creates attention, and attention leads to interest. Attention is the very first step. So if you don't have attention in the first place, there's no chance at obviously getting customers. You need that attention. So the unique mechanism is so crucial, especially in the initial ad and really throughout the funnel as well, to build hope and belief. It's actually going to work for them. So that's a big thing. That's a big concept in this video. All right. So really think about it for you just in your process. Even if there isn't something that's truly crazy unique, just think about what's something that people just aren't stating. Like, what are your competitors not talking about that you can talk about? You can give it a name. You can break down the process in a way that no one else talks about. All right, it doesn't have to be crazy, but it just has to be something that no one's talking about. And there's things that most people aren't doing because the competition honestly is trash. Like, all you need to make 6 figures or 7 figures is just be competent and have good marketing and sales skills. Like, that's like, you don't have to be even like a master. You just have to be good. Like, the competition is not that good nowadays. There's some that are like crushing the game. That's because they just have the skills and they have the things like unique mechanisms and stuff. So hope this video gives you some context, especially if you're running ads right now. It's not profitable. It's not as profitable as you want. Or if you're just launching your coaching business, you're trying to get clients out there. Hopefully this provides some context. If you're someone who wants to become a private client and just basically get our lead gen system, sales systems installed in your business, also help get all my skill sets transferred to you, all the marketing skills and sales skills into your business. You own those skills and the systems forever. Click the link below. We're having a pretty compelling offer for you, so click that link if you're interested, and I will see you in the next one.